Hello, welcome to Sound and Fury Book Reviews. As usual, I am Tina. Today I'm doing a book review of Frontier by Grace Curtis. This is a book coming out on Valentine's Day, I believe. Anyway, it's coming out in February of next month from Solaris Press. This is a sci-fi post-apocalyptic love story, LGBTQ plus story. And I received it from NetGalley in exchange for a fair review, so thank you very much to the publishers. There are no spoilers in this review. Frontier is a novel that grew on me as I read it, and it's a blend of Western, sci-fi, and love story. So what is it about? In a distant future, most of the human race has fled a ravaged Earth to find new life on other planets. For those who stayed, a lawless society remains. Technology has been renounced, and saints and sinners, lawmakers and sheriffs, travelers and gunslingers abound. What passes for justice is presided over by the High Sheriff and carried out by his cruel and ruthless deputy. Then a ship falls from the sky, bringing the planet's first visitor in 300 years. This stranger is a crew member on the first ship in centuries to attempt to return to Earth and save what's left, but her escape pod crashes hundreds of miles away from the rest of the wreckage. The stranger finds herself adrift in a ravaged and welcoming landscape full of people who hate and fear her spaceborne existence. Scared, alone, and armed, she embarks on a journey across the wasteland and return to her ship, her mission, and the woman she loves. In terms of how post-apocalyptic this novel is, it's closer to Lee Brackett's The Long Tomorrow than Mad Max. As such, it still definitely qualifies as post-apocalyptic, but if it was a Fallout type of landscape, society has recovered from that. It's kind of a rebirth of the Earth novel, rather than a The World Has Ended novel. For more detail on the setting, we have an Earth that was abandoned 300 years ago before the novel starts due to environmental collapse. The people who remained have taken a step backwards in time, living in a mishmash of 1800s Western culture technology with a spattering of future tech lying around. People aren't shocked by high-tech stuff, as maglev trains still run and some cities are built around downed or unlaunched spaceships, but they are comfortable not using it. The religion that has sprung up is one devoted to Gaia, or Earth itself, which is why some people refuse to use technology to a certain extent, because of course technology is one of the things that kind of destroyed the planet. The combination of Western plus sci-fi reminds me a lot of Firefly, so if you really like Firefly, this kind of feels like it fell right out of it, which is a lot of fun. The plot takes a while to get into. We have an unnamed woman from a crashed ship on a mission to find her missing girlfriend. We don't know why she crashed or where the girlfriend is, so the stranger, who gets a new title every few chapters, she's unnamed for most of the book, travels from place to place just kind of looking for clues. For the first few chapters, I wasn't very engaged, I will admit, but I pushed through, and by halfway, I was really into it. The second half of the novel is really good, with more sci-fi stuff like spaceships and technology. There's a really interesting scene where someone goes into the bowels of a ship. It's really fun. In terms of the romance angle, I would characterize it more of a love story, as that is the driving force of Kai's journey, but it doesn't fall under the tropes or structure of romance as a genre. I liked the relationship quite a bit. It's a little bit enemies to lovers, and I really like a soldier plus a scientist couple as well, so I really liked their little love story. It actually wasn't a huge part of the story. It was the driving force behind the plot, but it really wasn't a major part of the story at all. It was an interesting kind of how it tied in. The book takes some liberties with point of view, which I enjoyed, where we get a few chapters here and there following other characters. This serves to broaden the world building and give it a bit of a literary flair. The prose in the novel is quite lovely, with the occasional lyrical description. The action is quick-paced and easy to follow. The stakes waver a bit in terms of tension, especially in the first half, as because Kai isn't really sure where she's going, we're also not really sure where the story is going, but as her goals become more concrete, the story becomes very engaging. It's also quite fun in that you're not sure what or who Kai is going to run into next, whether it's the deranged sheriff on her tail for reasons unknown, a comic book seller who refuses to do business, a sexy thief, or a tortoise. Overall, if you're fine with a slow start, Frontier is a lovely, intriguing Western sci-fi novel that would be perfect to read around Valentine's Day. I will say, it was lucky that Kai crash landed in a place that spoke her language. Just saying. Thanks for watching, and thank you again to the publisher for the e-arc. I really enjoyed it.